Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Warriors Mindset Podcast. My name is Jason POV, and I am the CEO of Warriors Management, which is why we call it the Warriors Mindset Podcast. Because you got to have a Warriors mindset. Anyway, today's a very special episode. I'm actually not going to be here. I'm actually not here. But we have like three really special people to me. We have Patrick POV, our Chief Operating Officer, and my son. We have Mitch Lilly, who is our Vice President of Operations, and we've been working together a long time. I've known him since he was 15. And then we have Brighton Woods, our CFO, and my business partner. And I want to just tell you this. The journey that I've seen thus far with these three young people, 30 and under, has been absolutely amazing. And I can tell you that anything that we've accomplished within our companies would not happen without them. A matter of fact, I was thinking on my way here, I don't think I would do it without them. I don't want to do it without them. So they have a lot to say. They've learned a lot, and they're super humble people. So I hope you enjoy the 14th episode of Warriors Mindset. What up, everyone? You know, when we were deciding how we were going to start this, because we have a little intro that's not the norm, Jason introduced us. He's not here today. We were kind of deciding, and I just said, I thought to myself, well, I'm just going to talk to the crowd and talk to the audience and tell you what we were thinking. So we said, you know, do we do the intro? Do I say the sayings, the riddles, the blunders of the wise? Because that's our thing, so we have to include it, right? But we are Warriors Management. I am Patrick POV. I am the Chief Operating Officer of Warriors Management. This is the Warriors Mindset Show. I'm sitting here today with some people very close to me, people who I spend more time with them than almost anyone. Mitch Lilly, how you doing?
How's it going, guys? Doing well.
Miss Brighton Woods, how are you?
How's it going?
Brighton Woods, 30 years old.
As of yesterday.
She didn't want us to say that, but I said it anyway.
Yeah,
so.
Happy birthday to me.
Yeah, happy birthday. How does it feel?
The same. It's the same. It's really not any different.
You don't feel any older?
No, I think after I turned 23, I decided that everything else is going to be the same. And so pretty much I'm 23 forever.
Oh, 23. That was a terrible year.
It was
for
my
me.
favorite year. I know we've talked about this before, but I think that 23 as an age was like so fun for me.
Ugh.
And I just enjoyed every ounce of it. And so now, like,
Forever 23.
I got it. Yeah, Forever 23.
Isn't there a song where everyone hates you, as like a Blink-182 song or
Yeah.
something? Everyone hates you when you're 23.
Yeah.
Well, so Brighton's 30. Mitch and I are 27, so we'll be 30 soon. I told them that we talked about Mitch's birthday. Now we're talking about Brighton's birthday. So when mine comes up, it's mandatory that we talk about mine. So.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to be celebrated.
Who doesn't want to be celebrated?
Yeah.
Oh,
I do like birthday cake.
I love
so.
celebrated. I got spoiled yesterday, so it was cool.
Really? What'd you do?
Yesterday I went to work, but I got flowers from the Jets fam.
Wow.
Susie spoiled me, and we know how she is. So
Yeah.
I had books and smelly things and nail polishes and whatever you could think of
All
that
kinds
she
of
just
fun
loves
stuff.
to buy, because she's the best gift giver, and it's definitely her love language. And I got an edible arrangement.
Oh, I like
Damn.
those.
Starbucks gift cards. It was
Wow.
ridiculous.
You were
I was
spoiled.
I really was. It was awesome. So
You know what I got on my birthday?
happy birthday.
A broken ice machine that I had to fix.
Yeah, you got a
He
pretty good
sounds a
cake, though.
Bitter. Yeah, I heard
I had
you
a
got
gr-
a good cake.
I had a
so-
great cake.
I
And
had
I-
a good cake too, actually.
I actually loved fixing that ice machine, so.
My sister-in-law made me a cake, and she always makes really yummy cakes, so that was cool.
Did any of your presents come from Jude?
Yes, but it was a day early.
What was it?
I don't know if I really want to talk about this or if it's going to make me look bad, you guys.
No, it won't make you look bad. It'll be relatable.
Was it handmade?
It was made by his speed and outwitting me. So we went to Pioneer Day. My birthday's the first week of October. So every year there's like tons of fun stuff, fun fall festivals, that kind of stuff. And we really just get to go out and have a good time around my birthday. And the weather's generally pretty nice. It could usually be chilly, but it's almost always sunny.
It was hot yesterday.
It was yesterday. It was breezy. It was nice out.
It was kind of hot, though.
The day before is the birthday
yeah,
present I got that was early. So I took him to Pioneer Day, which is this local festival of people that kind of celebrate the Pioneer Days. So they do a lot of like old time stuff. They're whittling spoons. They're making flint arrow or spears. They're like doing all like that kind of cool stuff. And we were waiting to go on the hayride. And the line was like really long, and I'm just standing there like baking in the sun because it was actually really hot on Sunday. And I was standing there with my parents who came up and my brother, and all of a sudden we're like, "Where's Jude?" And he was like right next to me, in front of me, like playing in this pile of hay. I'm like, I cannot find Jude. I see my daughter Eden, she's playing there, and they were both playing together. And I'm like, oh my God, he's gone. And so I literally was scouring this. He ran off. Literally ran off.
Oh boy.
He like ran away. Like away.
That sounds about
He's
right.
almost 3. He's not 3 yet. And I was like literally just looking at him. So I don't know how he got away from me. And my mom is like freaking out because she's like a 10 all the time. And she's like screaming Jude's name. And all these people are like looking around. Of course, I know a ton of these people because it's like a local event and we live in a small town. And so like all of the local business owners that I just got done talking to and now I'm waiting in line are like watching my mom freak out because my son's missing. And I'm like, I know he's right here. This place is roped off. Like he can't get out.
Yeah,
and he also would never let somebody take him without causing a scene. So like, I know it's not.
Like he's fine.
He's fine. I just have to find out where he is. And so I'm like scouring the place looking and I go all the way to the other side of this stupid festival. And I see him with this old lady. And I'm like, Jude. And he's like, Mom. And the lady's like, oh, I was looking for you all over. I couldn't find you. I couldn't remember what you looked like, which I'd already talked to this old lady at some point today. And again, I know like a lot of these people. So I was pretty like confident that he was fine. But still, I'm like, what if he's not? Anyway, she's like, here he is and whatever. And I was like, so like just distraught over it. And my husband wasn't with us. And I texted him. I was like, I lost Jude for a minute. ...
Did he
was
freak
like,
out?
what? So anyway, that was pretty much my week. Turned 30, lost my kid and found him. And we're here.
So what's the moral of the story for parents out there?
Do not blink.
Happens.
Do not blink.
Do not blink. And it's not because they turn old really fast. It's because they run really fast.
Are you going to get one of those harnesses?
I don't know. My friend and I were talking about air tags in his shoes.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
We should. Do they have like dongles or something that you can put on the shoelaces? That'd be kind of cool, right?
I've seen people cut like little slices into kids' shoes and put air tags in like the side by their like
That's smart.
foot. And I was
pretty
like,
smart.
He could probably do with that. The problem is he's always taking his shoes off. So I don't really know in what scenario that would save me from. In this scenario, it would have, except for I had no phone service there because it was also in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what we'll do, but we're going to find something. Otherwise, he's getting a leash. So
I don't think it's actually not a bad idea. You always know where he's at, right?
if I have a leash,
Yeah.
he'll be attached to me.
Yeah, there
He'll
you
be
go.
one of those kids on the leash.
Yeah, he's one of those kids. He is already. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. What about you guys?
Oh, Mitch, you go first.
Well, this past week was just a busy week with maintenance and stuff, obviously, like usual. But
I used your form for the first time.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, did you see
Oh,
it?
really?
I'll have to check
Did it
my
work?
email. I haven't checked it this
You haven't
morning.
checked? Oh, it was like 3 days ago, dude, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. It's
Saturday.
not working.
Oh, I'll have to check it out.
I used it just to see how it worked.
Did you go
Instead of
test?
No, it was real. There was something that
Oh.
needed to be fixed, but
I'll have to check after this.
I didn't want to just text you because I was like, oh, we got this. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a freezer broken at the Crow, so we had to move everything into a different.
that same
different
freezer,
one.
huh?
Yeah, same
that
one.
lemon.
We're
Yeah.
not buying a new one.
No, I'm trying to get our money. So here's something business related, right? We bought this freezer that was like $7,000 and it came broken. And so I tried to get a new one, and we can't get a new one. And so we've spent thousands of dollars trying to get this freezer to keep working, and we keep fixing it and keep fixing it. And so I'm trying to get some money back from the warranty, but so far, nada.
Yeah, literally came with no refrigerant in it. It's like, okay, did they forget to fill it, or is there a leak? And at this point, it seems to be that there's a leak. So
yeah,
time for a new freezer.
So yeah, so when you get a chance, we just have to call our awesome HVAC company that we use to get that fixed. So
sounds good.
What else? Anything else?
Yeah, so we Victoria and I have been planning a lot. She actually set up an LLC this weekend for more just a personal business for us too, so we can use that for little side jobs and to leverage, because she has a little gap year off of school right now, and we really don't want her to get a 9-to-5. We think she's more valuable working for us, for our future.
Yeah.
And then another thing we did was we went out, we bought a double tree stand. We scouted a little bit, set that up, and
you're a hunter.
I'm a hunter, yeah. Cool. So I've been a hunter my whole life. It's bow season. My birthday's September 30th. Opening day of bows October 1st. So I was born to hunt. But
yeah, my dad was hunting when my mom went into labor with me, so it's always been like that. Like literally, she called, he had to come home.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, there's an 8-point right in front of me. I can't come. Sorry.
No, that would not pass with her. No way.
But yeah, we actually went hunting this morning in that stand for the first time.
Oh, cool.
Woke up at like 6:15, 6:30. Victoria doesn't really have hunting gear, so
no orange camo.
You don't have to have orange during bow season, only during gun.
Okay.
But I just had some extra camo pants, but I didn't have an extra coat or anything. Mm-hmm. So she had like 4 layers on and like
it's probably chilly out.
A big Carhartt on over that. So she's just sitting in there like all nestled up. But we actually I saw 3 deer and had drawn back on one this morning. But she got spooked before I could make a clean shot. So came home empty-handed, but hopeful for the future.
Yeah. Yesterday when we were talking about what we're going to talk about today, you said you were going to bring a prop, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I was going to bring one of my old European mounts that I had, an old buck that I had shot, just to make it a little more interesting behind me, not just a curtain, but maybe next time.
Yeah, you didn't bring a prop, but I think Patrick kind of inadvertently brought a prop he's wearing today. What's going on here? You're usually dressed up all fancy.
I am the prop. I am the prop. Well, I'm sitting in the host chair, and generally Jason wears jerseys. So I was like, okay, I could wear a jersey.
Is that why you're wearing glasses too?
No, I'm blind now.
Oh.
So
just
I got glasses.
Blind.
Yeah, I got glasses on Friday for the first time.
He's officially an old guy.
He literally comes to the Grateful Crow. We're loading up for a food truck event, and then he said, I have some errands to run. I'll meet you there. And I was like, okay, sounds good. I'm unhooking the trailer. He walks up with glasses on. I was like, you wear glasses now? Like, never seen glasses on him before, so that was cool.
Yeah,
they look good.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm getting used to them. It's kind of like I can see in HD now.
Yeah.
Really?
Everything's crisper when you go without and get glasses all of a sudden. You don't realize how blind you really were.
Yeah, and there's like the prescription's not super heavy. Like I can see without them, but I kind of I take them off and look at things, and then I put them on and look at things, and I'm like, wow, yeah, I can see way better here.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I haven't had an eye exam in a couple of years.
You should go get one.
I think mine are pretty good though. I can see deer really well, like even at dusk.
You might be farsighted and not near whatever the one is. I don't know. The opposite too. I don't know. I think glasses are great. I can't see shit, so
yeah.
Contacts all the time. I live in them.
But yeah, I pretty much have 2 outfits. I either wear dress clothes, which is what everyone on the internet sees me wearing, or I wear shorts and a hoodie. So I've got my hoodie on. I've got my hoodie in the car for after we get done.
And this is your anomaly third wardrobe
jersey?
outfit?
Well, it's hockey season. and hockey's my favorite sport. Red Wings start this week. So.
Yeah, my birthday is like
exciting.
the marker of like my favorite season. Hunting season, pumpkin season, pumpkin spice season.
Pumpkin spice. Basic.
What did I say? Hunting, hockey. Yeah, all of the things. And the leaves start changing, and it's so pretty outside.
It
This
just
is
smells so crisp.
October is the best month.
The frost.
Halloween.
Agreed.
Spooky
Yeah,
season.
you cannot convince me otherwise.
You know, I do tend to dislike the cold after a few months, but
That's like January.
having
though.
4 seasons it's so nice. People who don't get 4 seasons, I really feel for you
No,
because
I need the change.
it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is great. Yeah, Michigan, it's great. Don't care what anyone says. So I think that we had something interesting happen in the company this week that we should talk about, and that was the created crisis.
Yes.
Right. So that was fun. Jason recorded a little something to talk about it. I don't know when that's going to go out, but he intentionally created some chaos in the company, and that was to shake up some complacency that was happening. And he did it company wide. So we always say, what is it? 9 entities, 10 entities, in 6 different locations, 4 restaurants. And he shook things up with the scheduling, with some personnel that we had. And I think it was really good. People were a little freaked out, I would say, which happens sometimes.
On edge.
They're definitely unsettled.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's okay. And the 3 of us, myself, Brighton, and Mitch, are familiar with when things like this happen. And so we went with it, right? Because it's good. We're trying to, improve our operations, people-wise, profit-wise. And so, not everyone liked it, but now everyone likes it. And it was cool. On Saturday morning, this past weekend, we had a meeting of all the leaders of our two Toledo stores.
Mm-hmm.
We all gathered at the sports card show, actually. There's more room, less interruption. The phones aren't ringing and this or that.
No customers or dough.
Nope, no one knocked on the door.
Yeah.
Although yesterday I was there for a while and
Couple knocks.
Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
knocks, and so I think we might be open more coming up there. So that's cool. But he gathered everyone and said, like, this is what I'm doing and this is what we're doing and why we're doing it. And he basically said, either get on the train or go somewhere else.
Yeah, you're going to ride with us, or
Mm-hmm.
you have to go find something else to do, because we're a constant moving forward force.
Yeah.
So
Yep. We
And
strive for growth. I mean, that's kind of the point in life, and we don't like complacency.
Yeah. And it was cool. I think there was like probably 15 people there, and everyone was like, yeah, let's go.
do it.
Let's go. Let's do it.
That's awesome.
And so it was very cool. And it's some people who have been with us for 10 years, some people who have been with us for
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
And there was one of our new leaders. He was there for he's been here about 6 months, and he's doing really good. And that was the first time he's ever been in a meeting like that. And I was actually sitting next to him, and I was watching him, and he was just like, yeah, like he was totally on board. It was super cool.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
And, we had some young people there too. Some of our new leaders who are getting green shirts, actually, which is like a step up in the
It's like shift leader, right? Kind of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they're young, they're teenagers, and they were completely on board, and it was super cool, and it gave a lot of hope for we have a lot of youth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just thought that was cool. So
Yeah.
That is awesome.
It's funny to refer to the youth when I feel like a lot of times we're referred to as the youth. I mean.
Oh, I know. I was looking around. I was like, wow, everyone in this room is younger than me except for like 2.
Right. It's weird.
One
I
of
used
them
to be the
being Jay.
young guy. Oh, 3, I guess, including him. But it was just, it was cool. Yeah, I remember when I was the young guy. I mean, I started when I was 14. Everyone was older than me, and now I'm older than almost everyone.
Yeah.
So
You started when you were 14. Was that full time or?
yes. I was like 12, I was pretty much born born into this world. I was rolling dough balls at like 6 years old.
Born into the kingdom of dough.
I mean, I was. I remember like 6, 7 years old rolling dough balls when I didn't have to go to school. And yeah, you know, I played hockey. That was another reason why I wore this my whole life. And yeah, then I started when I was 14, like 3 days a week. I was a busboy, $4 an hour. So, you know, I started
$4 an hour.
$4 an hour plus tips, so it ends up
It's
being
still
7 or 8 or
above
something.
minimum wage for a tipped.
Yeah, it
a
is
tipped
actually.
server.
Right.
I probably
In
coulda got,
Michigan,
like,
I mean, other states are a little bit different, but it's like $3.93 for a tipped server right now or busser, as long as they're making enough to make minimum wage and tips.
yeah, yeah. So I think minimum wage was like $7 or $8 at the time, and so with tips, I got that and more depending on how I did. Although when we joke around, but it's not really joking, people who were around then said I didn't really do that good at first. Said I walked
They
too
were
slow.
just nice to you
I walked too slow, but I learned that
after the fact.
pretty quickly.
Well, you obviously took constructive criticism well, because you definitely don't walk slow today.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, so I did that when I still went to school, and then I dropped out of high school after my 10th grade year, which I used to decide what I told people. I'd say, oh, I homeschooled. Sometimes I tell people I graduated public school, but that's not true.
It's more
I graduated my own school.
I mean,
It's more of a
true.
flex to not graduate and look where you are today. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't care. Like, yeah, I dropped out. I started working full time. I mean, I finished school on a Friday, and that Monday I started working, and I started working like 6 days a week. And
you knew what
so-
you wanted in life, and you went
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, and Alex Rogers, who we know, he's made a couple appearances on our show. As he asked me, because he was thinking about dropping out. He's very smart. Like, he's gonna apply to Harvard, like U of M, like all these, you know, good
He's a
schools.
smart kid, yeah.
Oh yeah, super
Yeah.
smart. And he asked me not long ago. He's like, "Do you think I should drop out and just start working?" And I was like, "Well, that's what worked for me, but that's probably not the best option for you."
When you're
Because-
academically so
Yeah.
inclined,
That's the thing.
where I mean, even if he wanted to do what we did or do, he has an opportunity to go to Harvard. To have that opportunity
Yeah.
is insane, and it will give you a different path to get there, but it's not a bad path, I don't think.
No,
And
I don't think he really wants to go to Harvard. I think it's more of like
I can.
say like, yeah, I got into Harvard.
Well, and
Which is cool. I mean, that's pretty
That's
awesome.
huge.
and the thing is, with most people, they go into college straight from school, right? And a lot of those students at Ivy League colleges and those bigger universities, they didn't really have any work experience or real life experience
Yeah.
outside of academics.
It's all book smart.
Prior to going to college. So I think in that regard, Alex has a lot going for him, because he has a lot of work experience, and he just has a variety of skills that he's developed while working with us.
Yeah.
That will bring him very far in life. So if you compound that with college, I think the sky's the limit with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I dropped out of high school. I don't care now because there's actually a couple of my buddies from high school who are doing really well, and I'm proud of them. But I think I'm doing all right, doing
I'd
better
say
than a
so.
lot of people I know. So I
Yeah.
don't even care now. Yeah, I dropped out, and stopped playing hockey to work full time. So
What about you, Mitch? What was your schooling like? Your school situation?
Oh man.
I don't think I actually know
Well,
this at all.
I was a rebel in high school, as I think I'd mentioned before, but I was not a school kid, man. I had bad ADHD growing up. I liked talking to all my friends in class instead of paying attention. I would ditch class all the time. I ran cross country, and that's probably what kept me in school, to be honest.
you were
Sports
running. I
for a
remember
lot of people.
I knew
Yeah.
you then. You were running.
I was running a lot. I was running a lot.
You were like so gangly. Just kidding.
I was like 120 pounds at 6'2", and just like
That's insane.
just running,
Not healthy.
running everywhere. I would ride my bike to work. It was like 12 miles. I'd be like, "Yep, rode my bike to work today." They'd be like, "Why?" I'm like, because I wanted to. It's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, graduated with like a 2.4 GPA. Super bad.
Oof.
Ended up going to while I was working in high school, actually, while I was going to high school, I was working at Jet's Pizza in Chelsea. It was my first job. I was 16 years old, 2014. The company was a lot different back then.
Yeah,
I was a lot different back then.
Yeah, we had a whole different crew.
I remember Patrick was my manager at one point at Jets when I was 16, 17. And
we were the same age.
We're the same age. And Patrick would always just be shaking his head at me. Always making bad choices. You know, I was a young, dumb kid.
Yeah.
But eventually left Jets to go to college. I got a cross-country scholarship at Alpena Community College. Ran there for 1 season. Went there for 1 year. Got super depressed. Just, you know, kind of fell into the wrong crowd. Decided college wasn't for me. And decided to go explore the world a little bit and figure out what I wanted out of life.
Yeah, you've been all over.
And you came crawling back.
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I think he was recruited.
I was totally recruited. Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely wasn't
yeah.
crawling back. I came. So I had traveled abroad a little bit. I went out west, worked in Yellowstone National Park. Was an English teacher in Vietnam for a few months out there. Just traveled around Southeast Asia, which that was a very interesting experience in itself, which I think helped grow my character a little bit.
Yeah.
But we'll get into those details later, maybe.
Yeah, we could probably do a whole episode asking you about your travels.
Oh yeah, definitely. But eventually, after I got sick and tired of traveling, I came back, and I actually got a construction job. I worked construction for like almost 4 years.
Yeah.
For MBK Constructors, construction company my dad worked for basically my entire life.
Long time, right?
Yeah. So they're like family to me, like his boss and everything, and their kids. But I learned a lot of great skills, life skills that will stick with me for the rest of my life. And I think those skills have gotten me to where I am today.
Yeah.
Within this company, because, I think it was about 2021 where the Grateful Crow was just opening, basically. My brother was working there as a server. I don't think they were really serving much at the time, so he was delivering food.
He was delivering sushi and all that, yeah.
Sushi delivery. That's crazy.
That was wild.
And he was kind of just Jason was asking my brother about me a little bit. He'd be like, "Hey, what's Mitch up to? Haven't seen him in a while. What's he doing?"
Yeah.
Eventually got my phone number from him, reached out via text message, and invited me to a Bible study. So when I was out west, I became a Christian.
Awesome.
Which I wasn't raised as a Christian. I kind of had a coming to God moment when I was out in Alaska. But that's another deeper story for later. Ended up joining this Bible study, went pretty consistently, and every time I would go, Jason would kind of be pestering me. "Hey, you should come work for me."
Sounds similar to my situation.
"You should come
we
work
can talk
for me."
about that.
Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I work with my dad. I really like my job. Like, I like building stuff. It's awesome. I don't know if I want to change my career right now. But finally, after like 2 months of him pestering me,
He is persistent.
I was like, okay, fine. Let's sit down and talk.
Yeah.
And he basically wanted me to be his assistant, which
That lasted about how long? 2 days?
I feel like that lasted
5 seconds.
Yeah, I was like,
Your assistant.
I'm not really a pencil pusher. I'm not good at taking notes. I'm not sitting in a chair in an office kind of guy. Meeting minutes aren't my thing. I like to get the meeting minutes sent to me instead.
Yeah, I like that too.
But I had a lot of mechanical knowledge and skills that I had obtained over the years of working construction. So I found a gap that the company had, and I just started to fill it.
Yeah.
Without anyone asking. And I think really the first project that that kind of decided my path a little more precisely was Jason had asked me to find somebody to build a ladder for the Grateful Crow liquor
Oh my gosh,
cabinet,
I
right?
remember this. And it was so expensive.
And I was getting
near impossible.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
it was insane.
This was a tall, like a 20-foot ladder.
It was like a 14-foot. It needed to be 14 feet tall because our liquor cabinet, it goes from floor to ceiling, right? It's like the storage cabinet for all of the booze, and
It's like booze jail.
Yeah, so I was trying to figure out a way for everyone to safely climb this ladder and get the booze, and not worry about the ladder falling over and sliding down and all this stuff, and having it be sturdy enough. So literally all the quotes I got were like $5,000 plus from any company.
Jeez.
And I was hard knowing that.
Yeah. And,
Hard know that.
and I was like, I can just build a ladder. Like, I know how to build a ladder. Actually, I didn't know how to build a ladder, but I figured out how to.
Yeah.
And I just went out and got all the materials, built this red oak ladder, attached it to the wall with brackets, and it still stands today.
Yeah, 3 years later,
Phew.
still
3 years later.
still sturdy. So
I think that was kind of what started me in that maintenance realm for the companies. And now I'm trying to develop more organization for maintenance and trying to do as much as we can in-house to save money. And it's weird with my job because I'm always spending money, right?
Yeah, it's the bane of my existence.
I'm always coming to Brighton. Hey, Brighton, we need to spend $1,000. We need to spend $8,000, $10,000, whatever on this.
that was all in the last week.
It's
that
always
you
so
said that.
expensive too. It's like you're not like, hey, I need to buy something. It's like $200.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, you're like, I need to buy a new hood vent. Oh, it's $3,000.
But
Jeez.
but if we were to hire a company to do it, it's $6,000.
This is how he always gets me.
Well,
but
it's
if we
true.
did something with somebody else,
So how I think about it is, yes, we're spending money, but it's money we had to spend anyway, and we would have spent double the money. So
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm making the company $3,000 by saving it, right?
I mean,
that's how I think about it,
I mean, that is true.
it is true.
to a certain extent, if it's necessary.
Yeah.
Right. For
I just
frivolous
basically
projects.
don't want to hear it. It's what the moral of the story is.
That sounds
we
like-
have to spend money and no.
That sounds like the girl math thing.
I always say,
I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like at Marshall's. I'm like, well, we're at Marshall's, so it's like this. They're basically paying me to buy this shirt right now.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
50% off, so I'm saving 30
well,
bucks.
I guess I'm good at girl math then.
Yeah. Welcome to the club. Me too.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the things that you've done have saved the company a lot of money and even stress. Like, if you can fix it that day, as opposed to calling someone and having
Right.
to wait.
Weekend after hours charges.
Well,
yeah, all that.
I mean, I just called an electrician yesterday to try to solve one of our problems we're having in Toledo, and they said they're 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
So it pays to have the skills and the connections that you get from the trades when you're in this position. So I'm definitely glad that I went down that path, and I'm glad I followed wherever God led me, really.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Brighton's our money controller, and for the second time, right? You
For
are a
the
money
second time.
controller at a bank.
Oh yeah, my education and path to Warriors management, which was at the time not Warriors management quite yet, was a little different. But I see some mirroring happening in our paths here a little bit. Education wise and upbringing wise, a little different. I went to kindergarten and first grade, like typical. It was a private school, but I used to get really sick at school, and my mom would have to come and get me, and everybody thought I had anxiety really bad. I'd be on the bathroom floor at school,
As a little kid.
like a first grader.
Wow.
As looking like I was gonna pass out, and everybody kept thinking that I had like these anxiety problems as a kid, and we kind of were just like, whatever. My mom's like, okay, well, I can't keep coming and picking you up from school every day because of this. Like, something's got to give. She's like, and I'm in first grade at this point. So what are you, like 6 in first grade?
Yeah.
She's like, I think we're going to homeschool. And I'm like, sweet. Because I didn't want to keep doing
get to
that.
stay in
Like,
your
I
pajamas.
knew when I had to wake up, go to school, whatever, I got sick. And so, like, to me, that made sense. But I didn't know what it was. And, like, as a 6-year-old, you don't know what anxiety is or whatever. So it's just, you know, it was weird. Come to find out, it wasn't actually anxiety. I have a heart condition and my blood pressure would drop, which feels very similar to anxiousness. And so
Interesting.
it ended up being that I had a medical issue and it just wasn't going to work out for me. So I ended up being homeschooled. I was homeschooled through my freshman year of high school. I went to a year of school, like private.
Later on.
Yeah, up in my freshman year, I went to a year of
okay.
private school. It was very expensive. I know I talked
Private
about it
school.
in the past. Yeah, it was like a parochial school or whatever, but it was a really good, nice school. And my uncle, who's the same age as me, was also going to the school, and we were in the same grade.
Uncle
So it
who's
was
the
really
same
nice.
age as you?
Yeah, my mom and my grandma both got knocked up at the same time and
Oh, wow.
decided they wanted to have kids and, you know, whatever. So she had a new husband, my grandma, and it was a whole thing. But whatever.
Awkward.
Interesting.
Anyway, he's like my brother. So we went to school together, and I was homeschooled. So like I'm viewing this as like a waste of time. Like, oh, I have to go to school every day and sit in this classroom and listen to somebody rattle off something that I could have read in a book in a couple of hours. And to me, it just felt like this major waste of time. And I was like really struggling with that aspect of it. I wasn't struggling academically because book smart in school, I did just fine. I had A's and I graduated with like 106%. I graduated summa cum laude from my
Wow.
high school. Even though I didn't go there, I was school of choice there. So I actually was like, I got the academics, but none of the students knew me. So at graduation, none of the kids.
Wait,
Like,
so you went to
I
the
went to
school
1 year of school,
actually in school?
stopped going to that school.
Okay.
I school of choice and did an early college program. So I guess I skipped some steps. School of choice, went to this early college program. So I was dually enrolled in Eastern Michigan University. I was 16 years old. And I was completing college courses that were going towards my high school
Oh,
credits.
okay.
So at the same time, I was doing both.
I see.
And when I graduated, I already had 2 years of college under my belt, basically.
That's good.
But because I was school of choice, I got to have a real graduation like a typical high school kid.
So
Yeah.
you basically had an associate's degree by the time you graduated.
Except for
high
I was
school.
going to a university, so I didn't because universities are 4-year colleges.
Right. Okay.
So I graduated. I went to the high school graduation because that's all I really wanted. I knew a couple of the kids because they were also in the same program as me.
From the same one you went to a year to, or no? Oh,
This
different
was
one?
just
Okay.
a separate private or not a public high school because that's how they pay for your college.
Sure.
You get the funding that the high school would have, and it gets applied to your college
Gotcha.
tuition fees. So I did that, graduated. I was scooping ice cream at this place in Dexter in Ann Arbor, which was really fun. Decided that I needed to find somewhat of a big girl job. I wasn't really sure what that was going to be yet, but I applied for some banks and I got a job as a bank teller in Chelsea, Michigan, which is how I met all these guys. And I was working there for quite a few years, probably like 5 or 6. And through that time, I was our Jets Pizza's banker, business banker. And so there's a couple people that used to come in all the time, and that's how Jay found me. And then there was another guy that worked for us at the time that doesn't work here any longer that also had come in pretty often, and they both kept coming and asking me, come work for us, come work for us. We want you to come manage our restaurant. And I kept being like, man, I really don't want to come manage a restaurant. I work at a bank. Like, this is a really
That's
good
way
job.
different.
Like, I have health insurance. I have a salary. Like, I know nothing about bars. The only other experience in food that I really had at the time was working at the ice cream and coffee shop, which there was sandwiches. It was like, I mean, it was like quick service, but it wasn't like McDonald's, you know, so it wasn't fast paced like that. It was a pretty chill.
So a huge leap of faith.
Yeah. And so, well, I was promised a position that I didn't get. Somebody came and applied for a job that was already given to me that had 10 years more experience than I did. And so they're like, we can't in good faith give you this job. This guy has 10 years of experience. And I was like, and he had a college degree and I did not. And one of the requirements technically was a college
Is
degree.
this, you mean with us? This
This
happened?
is pre me working for you guys. This is at the bank still.
you got promised a position at the bank.
Yes.
That you didn't get.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I found that out, and the next day, and this is like 10 times after I've already been asked to come to Jets, Jay comes in and says, I really just want you to come work for me. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I didn't get this job I wanted. I'm not going anywhere. I actually had tried to leave the bank previous to that. They gave me a raise and a promotion. And so I felt like kind of trapped there, like I couldn't get away anyway. And
Sure.
I was only like 21 years old. So it was like I'm managing this bank, and like I didn't have all of this experience that this other guy did and whatever. So it's kind of crazy. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go do it. So I'm like, whatever. We start my job. Jay actually forgot my first day that I started working at Jets. He forgot I was coming.
Sounds about right.
And he goes, oh, I forgot that you're starting today. We're going to do a culture day. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast before. I know you guys know this story, but he's like, so you're going to go and do something with my wife. So literally Susie like picks me up, and we go and we're picking up sticks in the backyard of their yard. And I'm like, what the heck did I just decide to do? I was like, what the hell is a culture day for one? But okay. So the next day he like remembered that I was coming, and like I came to work, and like it was much more restaurant
Structured.
managery. I think I was greeting at the door for like a music event or something like that, which sticks, by the way, I was picking up sticks for an outdoor concert. That is not a typical thing we do in our company. It just happened to be that we needed to spray paint some sticks for an Enchanted Forest
I was gonna say, it sounds
concert.
like some stuff I do.
I know. I was like, it was kind of crazy. So anyway, Jay was bird dogging me. We both had that situation going on, whatever.
We were poached.
And so, yeah, second day he remembers I'm supposed to work, which was fine. And I was like, okay, so I'm working this job. I'm working in the restaurant as a assistant manager or something like that. And 2 weeks after I started, I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. And I had like this, like, what the fuck did I just do? I quit my job at the bank. I had a really good salary. I had a pension, or not a pension, a 401k. I had vacation time. I had all this stuff, and I had a manager job at the bank. Like, that's such a adult thing to have. And now I just quit my job to go work in a restaurant, in a bar. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with working at a bar. Let me just
it's great.
Point that out here. But like for me,
societal standards.
It wasn't something that I ever thought for myself. I have always been in my mind an office girly. Like
right. I mean, you were a good student. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I like papers. I like working on the computer. I like being organized. I'm not opposed to standing up all day because I did that at the bank. But like I didn't picture myself working somewhere at 1 a.m. with drunk dudes at the bar while I was pregnant with my first child.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really happy with it. And I mean, the idea kind of when we talked about me coming to work for the company was that I would help a little with the bookkeeping, but it wasn't really happening very fast. And I was like not fast enough for my liking. And it was just like this whole thing. I wasn't doing a very great job posting because honestly, it's just not my forte.
Yeah.
And I did the best that I felt like I could, but I was also very quickly becoming very pregnant. And anyway, I ended up working in the office, transitioning a little bit, and kind of the same thing. The position just kept creating itself. I mean, we found more of a need for this and that and the other thing. And, you know, first it was running payroll and trying to create financials with no formal training. I got more training as the job went on and did more schooling and accounting. And we just kind of built the position a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was obviously a position the company needed, but we hadn't really had the
you found a gap
funds, or the anything for at the time. And so it's slowly grown into that, but it's awesome. And it's everything I could have wanted. And I think it's really important for people to know that it's okay to take a little bit of a leap of faith when you are in a position that's not for you. And even if that means you feel like you're taking a step back, and in my mind, going to a restaurant was just because it wasn't the type of position I want. But in reality, it was a much better position than working in my banking job, where I was stuck in this very corporate world, and there was only so much you could do. Here, I mean, we can keep going. So
Yeah.
it's really cool that we have that opportunity.
Yeah, I think that there's a couple lessons in both of your stories. Like, one, you both took a leap of faith,
Yeah.
right? Like you said, like Mitch, you left
Absolutely.
a job that, you know, with a company your dad had worked for forever, you had been with a long time, and you
And
know,
I loved
kind of
it.
said, yeah, you loved it. It's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go do this, you know. And then Brighton, you left a pretty comfortable position, right? And took a leap of faith. But I mean, look at now.
Yeah.
Like, who would have thought we're sitting here on a Tuesday morning filming a podcast,
For fun.
you know?
And for work at the same
Well,
time.
yeah,
I mean,
both.
it's like,
I would have never thought that.
Yeah,
Even
podcast,
3 years
honestly-
ago, never.
podcast on last thing on my mind.
Yeah.
Really, truly.
Yeah, and you kind of mentioned it, and this is a good lesson for our team. Like, sometimes you have to be patient. Like, Brighton was scooping ranch out of a garbage can because
Oh my
someone
God.
dropped their
Six-
dropped their phone
6
or
months
something,
pregnant,
right?
Like, blah.
And you know, and now, you know, she got to where she wants to be. Mitch is doing what he wants to do, and like, sometimes you have to be patient to get to that spot.
And work really hard. I think that's really an important point on that,
Yeah.
being patient. And just because you don't necessarily like the position you're in, you got to kind of crank it and just do what you need to do to get to what makes you happy. Because if you're not doing that, then you're going to be stagnant in your life, and
Yeah.
you're just going to be unhappy. And we see that so much with people that are unhappy with their positions and aren't doing anything to change it. If you're not changing, and what is the definition of crazy? I mean, it's
Doing
doing
the-
something with
doing the same
expecting
thing over and
result
over
or
again
different
and
result.
expecting a different result. Yeah. And so, you know, we want people that are, if it doesn't work, try it again. Let's try it again a different way. Like, we really need that out of people. And I think that
Right.
the
And
three of us have done a pretty good job of doing that.
right, and like, you know, moving the person, you know, maybe they don't work out the best in a certain position, but maybe if we move them to a different seat on the bus,
Yeah.
maybe they'll excel, and maybe
Yeah.
they'll be who we want them to be for the company and who they truly want themselves to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's crucial that you, as an individual, are growth oriented, and you just strive to obtain skills that will help you become more valuable within whatever organization you're working with. And you know, did I ever think that a construction job would help me grow very quickly in a company that manages restaurants? No, but it did happen.
Yeah. And looking at as the leaders in a company, I think on the other side of that, so, you know, your responsibility as an individual is to do what you said, but as a company and a leader in a company, your responsibility as a leader is to find those really good qualities in people and
Yeah.
put them in a position that excels, or, you know, stretches and molds and conforms to what those really good qualities are. Because if you have somebody in a leadership position that is not good at leading people, and you put them there as their leader, then you're failing them, and you can't do that, or you're just not going to succeed. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, we're gonna keep this in, but I'm having a
brain fart
having a blank here because
Well,
I don't really want to end this conversation
about
and go to our
talking
next
about
thing.
ourselves.
Well, I think
Yeah.
an important
Make sure you leave that in because it's kind of funny.
If you leave that part in too.
Yeah,
I think an important overview is just, you know, no matter what you want to do in life, pay attention to the small details. They matter, you know?
Yeah.
If you're walking in a parking lot, especially if it's, you know, a facility you work for, and you see a piece of trash, don't walk past it, pick it up, throw it in the trash can.
I hate when people leave it. Like, I like physically cannot walk by something in the parking lot and not pick it up.
Do you know how many
Right.
beer cans I've picked up out of our parking lot?
Too many.
Too many.
Especially after concerts.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
But just do the little things, because it's important to be proud of where you work. And, you know, if people come to our restaurant and they park in the parking lot, and they're walking in and they're like, wow, it's like really nice out here. There's no trash floating around. It's, it's upkept nicely. That's their first impression on the business.
Yeah.
So if they see our parking lot look like trash, they're just gonna assume that, the restaurant's dirty, and it's just a bad first impression to have. So
Yeah.
focus on the little things, and the big things will take care of themselves if you just focus on that.
Yeah, and something I was thinking about as we're talking, and you guys kind of mentioned people who worked with us and don't anymore. Like, I'm very thankful for the people that we had up to this point, because I've seen it all, right?
Yeah.
Like, from the very beginning, and there were a lot of hard times, and we've kind of talked about some. We'll talk about more. Like, my family had a lot of sacrifice to get us to where we are, and we had a lot of good people that did good for us. But I'm very happy with who we have now.
Yeah.
Like, our team, our Warriors leadership team, our team, our leaders within each company are really great, and I think that there's a lot of good that's going to come out of that in the future.
Agreed.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that are really passionate about what they're doing with us and what we're doing. And I think that's really important, is that we're all sitting here and we're following what we're passionate about. I mean, the three of us, I think, Jay and a couple of other core people are really passionate about growing people, like, and not making, because really they're doing it, but helping people to reach these like goals and passions of their own, and being, happy and fulfilled. And I know for me, I'm really happy and fulfilled with what we do, but I'm not done.
Oh, no.
And I think you guys are the same way. And, 10 years from now, who knows what our company looks like, but I'd say it's probably the three of us, hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I mean, with a group of a lot of other people that are with us right now that I hope stick around. And if they don't, and it's not their passion, then okay, well, I hope they find what they're passionate about. And the people that are with us, I hope that this is what they want to do, because it's really awesome. And we really want everybody to be happy with what they have and what they're doing every day, because it makes a big difference. And I know we're not supposed to read the comments on the podcast, but I read this one comment that somebody posted, and you had talked about loving what you do every day.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, you must be so lucky to love what you do every day. And I'm going to call this guy out. I don't even know what his name was. And it was like on one of our reels or something. But he was like basically like bashing you for being happy at what you do every day. And I was like,
That sounds like a him problem.
I was like, dude, if you're not happy, change it. Like, you don't have to do what you hate doing.
Yeah.
Like, you might think you do, but you don't actually have to do what you hate doing every day. Change your fucking position. Like, go do something different.
Obtain
if you
new
don't
skills.
like it, you might not even need to have new skills. Like, just do something different. You are not trapped. You don't like working at McDonald's flipping burgers, which there's nothing wrong with if that's what you want to do. I'm just saying.
I love
but if
eating
you
burgers.
don't like making burgers, go somewhere else. Get a job doing something else.
Oh,
There are people hiring. There
Tons of
are
them.
people that want you to grow, and you can there's tons of jobs. Like, you have to take it upon yourself to make yourself better. You can't wait for somebody to do it for you, and you cannot be resentful to people that are happy doing what they're doing because you are in a position in your life that you're not happy with. And
totally.
thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Well said.
Yeah, that's a good one. That'll end up
Sorry.
that'll end up on a reel, and then maybe that guy will comment.
I hope he does. And you know what? If he wants to talk to me on the phone, I will be glad to talk to him. And I do read our comments, but these guys don't.
Yeah,
but
you do. We were advised not to.
Yeah, I know.
The good and the bad, because there's
Yeah.
both, especially on the internet.
I don't really care if people think we're idiots, but if they're idiots, I'm going to call them out on being an idiot, because in this situation, you were not being an idiot, and he was. So
Well,
anyway, fuck
anyone
you.
commenting, anyone commenting negatively, we'll just put our resume against theirs. But
See you to the haters.
yeah. Anyway, thank you to Guy, I don't know your name, for listening, and we appreciate that.
We really do.
Yeah. Speaking of passion, I saw this cool clip. So there's this guy, Frankie Valli. You guys know him, the singer?
It's like the grease guy?
Yeah. Sherry.
Oh, you're going to sing for it?
Sherry, baby. Sherry.
Okay.
You know that song?
Save that for Mary.
Oh, she loves when I sing to her.
I'm not
sure
gonna lie.
she does.
I don't know that song, but I've only watched Grease once, so.
No, I don't think that one's in Grease.
No?
That's
Okay.
just one of his other ones. Andy, can you find a video of this guy singing Sherry?
So
We'll play it after
Pat
this,
doesn't
so we
have
know.
to do it.
No, I didn't tell you I was planning on doing that because it was funny. So, but let's take a look. I saw this video. So this is a guy. He's been around forever, and he is 90 years old, still performing.
That's insane.
90.
You say that you want me. I want you to think what your family would say.
This is like an iconic voice.
Throwing away, not think what the future would be with a poor boy like me.
I don't know. I saw this. This came up on my TikTok, and I just thought it was pretty cool that this guy. I mean, 90 years old. He's probably rich. Like he could be, I don't know, doing
Sitting
whatever
on
they're
the
doing,
beach.
sitting on the beach.
Yeah.
You know, but he's still out there
Doing what he loves doing.
doing what he loves. Yeah.
Oh, I hope I'm 90 playing on spreadsheets still.
Playing on spreadsheets.
Yeah.
God, that
That's the
sounds
dream.
terrible.
But for you guys, it sounds terrible. Mitch is like, yeah, I want to be fixing an AC unit when I'm 90.
Hey, I don't, maybe not fixing an AC unit, but I wouldn't mind like building some custom woodworking things
Yeah,
or
that'd be
something
cool.
like that. I don't know.
Pat,
And-
what do you want to do when you're 90?
Oh, I don't know, something fun. Probably still
It's
be
like
doing
going to
this.
concerts. He's
Yeah.
like, I want an annual pass to Red
I want to
Rocks.
still be hunting at 90. That'd be insane.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, and for that, like, you got to take care of yourself.
Oh yeah.
You know, to live till
You have to be
90.
physically fit, and I mean at least a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You
but-
at least have to be putting
least-
the right things into your body to do
Right.
that. Yeah.
You have to be able to stand up out of a chair and, you know, stabilize yourself on stage to sing an
Yeah,
entire song.
This guy's out there for, I don't know, probably an hour or two singing these songs.
Oh my
and
God.
there were people in the comments kind of bashing him. And even one that I did think was funny, it was like, let's get this guy in the White House. He's the perfect age.
Oh man, that's good.
You're not wrong.
So I thought that was funny.
He's
But
probably more with it than some of the people that have been in the White House.
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
But I just thought
me
that was
about it.
cool and an inspiration to like do what you love for as long as you can, you know?
You might as well. I mean, we're only on this earth for so long, so let's be happy while we're here.
Absolutely.
Cool.
You guys got any closing thoughts on that?
You know, just as we said in the previous podcast, be ambitious, be vibrant, and you know, look to grow new leaders. Clone yourself.
Make your life better for yourself. Don't be stagnant. Just keep moving, growing forward. Whatever it is that you need to do, do it. Sleep less if you have to. Or,
Not too much less though.
no, I mean, I'm saying some people are like, I need 12 hours. You don't fucking need 12 hours of sleep. Give me a break. Like, you
7.5 to 9.
I would love to get 9 hours of sleep, but
Sometimes
that
I
doesn't
need
happen. But yeah, I mean, a one-off, yeah. But you know, people are so like happy to just be where they are and then complain about where they are. So you have to actively do something to make it better, which is basically what I was just saying. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna die on that hill.
it. Even if it's something as small as getting up in the morning and making your bed.
Yeah,
Oh,
Just
yeah.
be better than you were yesterday.
Yeah, totally.
yeah,
Cool. Well, I think that's it for us this week. Brighton, thanks for coming.
absolutely. I love to come.
It's great having you.
Mitch, as always, it's been great.
Yes, it has.
That's the show for today. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for all our new videos. We will see you next time. Peace.
See ya.
Follow